In this edition of City News, locals gathered at a park in Hawthorne to celebrate America's Night Out Against Crime. Also, are you prepared for the next earthquake? We'll show you how to be ready on a dime. Then, Hawthorne kids could be the next generation of scientists and engineers thanks to a fun and free camp. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Amy Davis. Recently, our city took part in the statewide 2012 National Night Out. The event is designed to raise safety awareness in the community. HCTV reporter Sophia Pop attended the much anticipated festivities.
It was an evening dedicated to promoting a strong partnership between neighbors, the police, and the fire department during the third annual National Night Out event in the City of Good Neighbors.
You can come out, talk to your neighbors, talk to the people who protect the streets, and really just to have one night where it belongs to the people.
The first National Night Out event was introduced in 1984, and since it's always been held the first Tuesday in August. Local officials emphasized that this event reinforces a sense of togetherness in the community.
I think it's important for the families to know that they could work here, live here, be educated here, and have a safe environment in which to bring up their children.
We need community policing, which is what we're doing, and we need the community to be involved and get out and go shopping, go walking around the sidewalks and show that they're not afraid of crime.
We have some challenging times, so it's good that the community comes together and puts, the force of many is real strong.
Residents gathered at Holly Park to salute the city's finest. Hawthorne PD's Chief Robert Fager touched on some important key points to stay safe.
Look out for yourself in being safe as to where you go, what you do, secure your car, secure your belongings. Also look out for your neighbors. Make sure that you have an open dialogue with neighbors.
LA County Fire Captain Daniel Novak was on hand to answer questions. While he was there, he talked about the Civilian Emergency Response Program, better known as CERT, and explained how it trains people for major emergencies.
It teaches them CPR, first aid, 72-hour preparedness, so all things that they can utilize at home for their friends, family, and kids.
The picnic-style event drew a big crowd, colorful balloons that included food, a hula hoop contest, and plenty of school supplies.
I think it's pretty cool because we got school supplies to help us get back into education, get back into that road.
77 backpacks were handed out, and kids also went home with plenty of toys.
I think that's great that they're giving kids backpacks, because a lot of families can't afford things like that, So it's really good that they're giving to the kids, and all the kids are having a great time, and it's all really about the children.
This is something that we want to promote not just for Holly Park, we want to get it also to the other parks in our neighborhoods.
Event coordinators were happy with the turnout and grateful to the sponsors for the generous donations provided by local businesses. Reporting for HCTV, I'm Sophia Pop.
For more information on upcoming safety programs and activities sponsored by the Hawthorne Police Department, visit their Facebook page at www.facebook.com/HawthornePolice. The Hawthorne Police Department recently received a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice's Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services, or COPS. This nearly $400,000 grant was awarded to the police department in order to fund the Coffee with a Cop program.
We will be implementing and creating the national curriculum for Coffee with a Cop, and then going around to different parts of America, teaching other police departments how to do it and helping them set this program up.
Some of the grant money will also fund an academic study being conducted by the University of Illinois. If you would like more information about future Coffee with a Cop events, you can call the Hawthorne Police Department at 310-349-2700. Senior citizens visited the Hawthorne Police Department for a free social media course where they learned how to navigate through Twitter, Facebook, and email. Jennifer Murillo was there.
With social media sites commonly used as a tool to send and receive timely information, it's important to know how to use them.
I learned more about emailing, and I learned more about Twitter.
All of the companies now, which seniors have to interact with, are using social media to communicate with everyone. So people who are not familiar with it are going to be at a very bad disadvantage.
The Hawthorne Police Department noticed that many older citizens didn't know how to navigate social sites as Twitter and Facebook, so they decided to put on a hands-on workshop and get them up to speed with technology.
We wanted to help them out and get them a little bit more familiar with knowing what's going on in the community, so Twitter is a great way to know.
Knowing how to use Twitter and Facebook not only can keep you informed, but can save you lots of time in your everyday life.
We do put our public events coming out, and we do the street is closed, or the intersection for, Hawthorne and El Segundo isn't working for the lights.
By the end of the class, not only did the senior citizens know how to stay connected, but they have their own email and Twitter account. For HCTV, I'm Jennifer Murillo.
With the high volume of earthquakes California has recently experienced, have you thought about updating your earthquake kits or putting together one if you haven't already? HCTV reporter Sophia Pop shows us how to put together an earthquake kit without having to spend a fortune.
Living in Southern California, we've all experienced an earthquake. This is why Emergency Preparedness Coordinator for the City of Hawthorne, Claudio Taniguchi, says being prepared with food, water, and shelter when the next big earthquake hits should be a priority.
It's the responsibility of the homeowners to be prepared and to have their own kit ready for anywhere from 3 to 5, even 7 days without any external help.
Having an earthquake kit at home, in the car, in work or school doesn't have to be expensive, as we learned after going over a basic list of essential items needed for emergencies.
This one costs $1.97, and this is very important when you have lots of particulates in the air. It's actually for $2.97, and so the goggles are good to cover your eyes. This type of glove here that has cloth on one side and leather on the other are probably they're sufficient, and they're very affordable. They're $1.97 a pair.
Claudio says having a flashlight with batteries, hard-soled shoes, and a hard hat can make a difference.
Especially there have been so many people who have gotten up out of the middle of the night when there's an earthquake and they've stepped on glass and they become a victim themselves before anything happens.
Other essentials include a first aid kit, light sticks, a piece of rope to move around large objects, a wrench to shut off the gas and water, as well as hand wipes and a 5-gallon container with plastic bags to use as portable potty. And if instructed by authorities to shelter in place, you should also be prepared.
You probably want to designate a room that you can all sequester yourself in and use these items, the drop cloth and the masking tape.
After checking off the list, the grand total at the Home Depot store came out to be
$67, $68. But again, it doesn't have to be purchased all at once.
Next, we headed over to the More Prepared store to check out additional items.
We have everything from food and water to blankets and lights and shelter.
Our body needs water in order to survive, so according to the American Red Cross, 1 gallon of water per person per day should be stored away in plastic containers, as water will be scarce after a major quake.
If things turn bad, you really do need to have a tent, and you should have enough shelter or tents for everybody in your family.
Crank radios, food bars, or emergency meal kits are options to consider, and keeping important documents and cash in a safe place is just as important.
I'm very concerned. Yeah, that's why actually after the thing happened in Japan, we went and updated the pictures and our meeting place and our emergency phone numbers.
I hope that people who are watching this will take it to heart and do some preparation, some really good preparation for that disaster whenever it may happen.
The key to being prepared is to personalize your emergency kit based on your needs and budget. Reporting for HCTV, I'm Sophia Pop.
For more information on earthquake preparedness, you can call Claudio Taniguchi at 310-349-1687. Do you know what to do in case of an emergency? Following a major disaster, police, fire, and medical professionals may not be able to fully meet the demand. CERT volunteers come in and help out the first responders by organizing and caring for victims. The City of Hawthorne is providing Community Emergency Response Training, or CERT, to the public in Spanish. The CERT program provides basic training in safety and life-saving skills for the public. The training course will be a series of 3 sessions held on September 8th, September 15th, and September 29th from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Participants need to attend all classes to receive a certificate of completion. The training will be held at the Hawthorne Memorial Center in the Polaris Room at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard. Training is free, but class size is limited, so be sure to sign up to reserve your seat by calling Claudio Taniguchi at 310-349-1687 or email him at ctaniguchi@cityofhawthorne.org. Coming up next on City News, there's a new business showing Latin flair in Hawthorne. Also, calling all surfers, you may want to think twice before throwing your styrofoam packaging away. There's more news ahead. We'll be right back.
You're watching Hawthorne Community Television, Channel 22, quality programming for the City of Hawthorne.
Welcome back. El Camino College recently held a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a brand new athletic education and fitness complex. Thanks to the approval in 2002 of Measure E, the college's facilities bond, this $5.2 million upgrade is possible.
This is a regulation soccer field. It's an artificial turf. It'll allow our soccer team to practice on it, as well as all of our athletics, and it will allow PE classes.
Significant improvements will also include an outdoor fitness center, track and field, sand volleyball courts, and much more. Phase 1 of the construction project is scheduled for completion during the spring 2013 semester. Students of Zella Davis Elementary had a week of fun while learning about science, technology, engineering, and math. Reporter Kim Horcher was there.
This is not what you'd expect to see in a classroom, but it's part of the engaging curriculum of Camp Invention, one of the most respected enrichment programs nationwide. Here, kids are imagining they've crash-landed on a planet with different conditions they must adapt to.
Since we crashed into planet Zack now, we have to help the Zackians rebuild their land, and we have to put up shelters and build our ships.
Teacher Liz Mena is playing the part of an interplanetary leader in the lesson. Her station allows kids' imaginations to roam free while they learn about astronomy, physics, and climate.
It's all very creative. It's just creative problem solving, thinking outside the box to get the job done and using materials that they would normally use.
At Camp Invention, there's a heavy emphasis on innovation, using resources we already have. This is a broken DVD player, but today it's a learning resource.
We let that string go so that the balloon will come down.
At Mr. Logue's I Can Invent station, kids must pop a water balloon without touching it. They reverse engineer contraptions out of materials they've salvaged, as well as a variety of pulleys, levers, and other simple machine mechanisms.
Release the balloon, which will then pop on my shoes again.
It's really a great opportunity for the community, and I hope it goes on every year.
Nearby aerospace technology company Northrop Grumman actually sponsored the entire program, making the camp free for 50 children. It's all to show kids how science can be fun and bring ideas to life.
That's the whole purpose of it, is if you can imagine it, you can build it, and that's what they're doing.
So far, the camp looks to be a success.
I love math, and I've learned a lot of things here. This is like a good educational place, so you can learn more.
When I got here, I thought it would be kind of normal, but I didn't expect it to be this way. And it turned out to be pretty cool.
According to the teachers, it's a truly unique learning experience they're glad to have. For HCTV, this is Kim Horcher reporting.
If you want to get more involved in the community, take a local fitness class. The Hawthorne Recreation and Community Services Fall 2012 catalog is now out, and it is filled with fun and inexpensive classes like yoga, Zumba, and swimming. So make sure to pick up yours at City Hall or at the Hawthorne Recreation and Community Services Department, or online at www.cityofhawthorne.com. A new business in town is teaching professional and beginning dancers. The Grizzly Dance Company has opened its doors to anyone willing to shake it. Reporter Margaret Sharp was at the grand opening.
Dancer Francisco Cano has been waiting for a teacher like Grizzly Hidriago to come along.
When he relocated here to LA, I started with him since the beginning about 2 years ago.
All of the salsa dancing trophies Cano has earned have been since he's been under the guidance of Venezuela-born instructor Hidriago.
What attracted me is because since I'm more of a, I guess you can say, street dancer, I was introduced to technique.
And now Hidriago has brought that technique and love for the craft to Hawthorne.
I love him. It's my passion, it's my world, it's my life. I love it.
The studio specializes in a variety of dance, including jazz, lyrical, and a twist on the standard salsa.
Ballroom dancers do salsa, but not the way we do salsa, because we do it, yes, with technique, but we add a little bit our street flavor to it.
And that flavor pays off big. They took second place in the 2011 World Latin Dance Cup. Despite this high acclaim, Cano says he never stops learning.
I learned that from Grizzly as well, is that no professional dancer is a professional. They're always a student.
As a newer student, Evelyn Escobar says that learning salsa wasn't as difficult as she thought.
He told me once that if I start, I will learn in 3 months. And in 3 months, I actually learned. I started from zero. I didn't know how to dance at all. And now I'm actually performing too.
Classes are opening up to the community, and some familiar faces in town could show up.
We are delighted, and I took a look at some of the classes that he's offering. I just may have to come back.
The Grizzly Dance Company is now open to the community, offering Zumba and Roomba classes, as well as dance classes for all levels. For HCTV, I'm Margaret Sharp.
For more information about class schedules or how to join the dance company, call 818-915-7663 or email grizzlydancer@hotmail.com. Hawthorne's Beach Boys famously sang Surfin' USA, and now a local business is trying to change the way we surf by going green. Shantae Passmore has the story.
Todd Patterson of E-Tech makes surfboards.
Surfboards are made from polyurethane foam and polyester resin. That's what they've been made out of for a long time.
But then Patterson discovered how toxic the materials were, and he decided there had to be a better way for producing boards, preferably a greener way.
Before E-Tech can shape a board, it all begins here, where people come in and donate their styrofoam.
This is actually one of our models. This is called the Punt.
Patterson and his partner, Ryan Harris, started experimenting with the recycled styrofoam 3 years ago.
We just kind of one day got together and we were like, why don't we just offer this to the industry?
E-Tech, short for Earth Technologies, was born. The surfboard manufacturer, who is participating in the Waste to Wave program, only accepts certain types of styrofoam. They then ship it off to Marco Foam, a supplier who turns the recycled styrofoam into blanks for surfboards, longboards, and paddleboards. E-Tech customizes the blank boards into a finished product. For Patterson, this process best describes the company's mission.
Earth Technologies, it's what our name says. It's the merger of environmental responsibility and technology. It's the merger of performance, of green and performance, and that's what we try to achieve here, is to create high-performance surf craft.
Patterson says there have been some challenges with making the boards.
If it's made out of all different materials, it's going to feel different.
A common concern from surfers is how high the board sits on the water, but E-Tech says people have to be open to tweaking the board's dimensions, like reducing the thickness if they want to get an incredible ride.
What Ryan and I have become really good at is taking those materials and making them feel more like what you're used to.
Not all feedback has been negative. Many competing manufacturers see the trend as a positive thing for the environment.
Boards get broken all the time, and chunks of those boards fall into the water. And if the materials that you're using are poison, then you're dumping chunks of poison into the water.
And the surf company has started receiving questions on how to work with the recycled foam.
Oh, nice. I think Spain might be a new one.
But the surfboard maker says he doesn't see himself as an environmentalist.
And this is just what we do. You know, this is how we can contribute. This is how we can help to save our oceans.
Patterson says the best compliment he's received so far came from a surfer they sponsor.
He got a board for me and came back the next day and he said, I've been surfing 22 years, this is the best board I've ever ridden in my life.
Patterson says the compliment blew him away, and he hopes surfers will experience the same with each board they make. This is Shantae Passmore reporting for HCTV.
To find out how you too can get an incredible ride the eco-friendly way, call eTech at 310-970-7873. Keep it right here on Channel 22 for these future news stories. We'll take you to the Hawthorne City of Commerce installation ceremony. Also, if you have diabetes, we will show you ways to deal with it and live a healthier lifestyle. That does it for this edition of City News. Thanks for watching. If you have any story ideas, please call us at 310-349-1630. Don't forget, you can watch City News online at youtube.com/HCTV22. We'll leave you now with more footage from the science camp. See you next time.